feel about your guy fighting, or do you fighting guys that could be on steroids? Because you're clean. Let's assume you are. I'm assuming you are. You're clean. You got to fight a dude that's not. And I'm not saying anyone isn't, but I'm just let's
Let's be real.
Yeah, like
most of them bloody are. It's getting ridiculous.
It's bad, and then so that's like you're not getting paid a lot. The dudes aren't losing much, if at all. Like you might get like people go, you got a 2-year ban, and you're like, well, I'll fucking take that.
Well, yeah, someone gets a little injury, they're getting the same.
100%.
I'm bothered because I've been a little vocal about it because it's just ridiculous. Some of these people, getting a little slap on the wrist is like it's proper cheating. You know what I mean? And you got some people. This is how I look at it. Some people act like it's like you see people on the internet sometimes, which I shouldn't be watching it anyway, looking at that stuff. And you act like, oh, who cares? You're acting like it's not a big deal. It's like, wait a second. So something that I've always had is strength. That's a part of
you're
physically strong. I've always been very physically strong and fit, and obviously explosiveness and stuff that you got to really work for that and skill and all that. Now I'm getting a lot, obviously I'm learning a lot more now, but that was always my main tools. And then you've got these guys that were probably a bit more faster than me. They're going to have their skills. And then now they're just as strong. They're just as fit. They can train all year round because they're taking stuff. And people don't realise how much that would be, playing a factor. That's why I actually, I don't like to usually rub people's name in the dirt like that. But Chad Mendes obviously was suspended. That's how I called him out. I go, I know he's going to be ranked. I don't think he deserves it. Coming off a suspension like that from, I threw his name in a bit of dirt, saying from cheating, but get a little slap in the wrist, come straight back into top 5 after a win. I knew that was going to happen. I go, I don't think that's fair. He should fight someone like me. So that's what I was pretty vocal about that, and it got me the fight. So I might have to throw more people's name in the dirt just to get fights.
but you know what's crazy as well. Like if you're on gear, that extends your career so much. Like these guys, that basically gives you an old head on a young body. You know, so you've got guys that are fighting that are 40 years old, and like again, not anyone in particular, but dude, like fuck off. You know what I mean? That's not, you're not clean. You know what I mean? And there's people that like they'll argue it, and you're like, first of all, the USADA testing, that's dog shit anyways. But like, dude's failed your test. Yeah. You know what I mean? Not anyone in particular, but in the past, this person has failed your test. How the fuck are we even debating whether the guy's clean or not? And then because when we're talking about, that's what I was saying with you, Joe, like when you're talking about the money the fighters are earning, and then on top of the fact that you're getting paid peanuts, you're fighting dudes that are fucking gassed to the eyeballs, and it's a fucking joke. It's not even like, oh, do you think they are? Like, how do you feel about that? Well, I feel lovely. Thanks, fella.
It is. It's so wrong. But how can you police it? To me, when the USADA first came out, and Alex just got into the UFC at that stage, and I thought this is the best thing because, like Alex said, Alex has always been really, really strong. But guys can, level themselves out by taking a bit of gear and just be just as strong. So it gave Alex. He's naturally gifted strong, so he could use his gift without a person, cheating to get that gift, And I think whether it's USADA or the UFC or whoever have to take, not get this slap on the wrist, make it that if you get caught cheating, you're going to lose it for maybe 4 or 5 years. So there's your end of your career unless you're very young, and stop wanting these guys to take the easy way because it's always easy to go the easy way. It's harder to go the hard way. Do the training, eating right, not recovering as good. There's a lot of benefits to taking gear.
And what percentage of people do you feel? Not necessarily guys that you fought, but what percentage of guys would you feel in the UFC would be on the gear, on some kind of gear, on some sort of performance-enhancing drug, if you had to guess?
Like, a lot of them.
What's a lot of percentage?
Oh man, I reckon at least 50% maybe. Some of the pre-workouts some of these guys are taking are like
they pop hop for.
Yeah, well, the ones that do and the ones that don't haven't yet. Like they're like one ingredient away from like speed or stuff like that. Like they are ridiculous, you know. But yeah, you know, I don't see it changing. I don't.
So when you have an opponent, right, and the opponent pops hot, are you like? Is it a thing where you're even surprised anymore? Like you might be like, oh really? I didn't know he was, but you're not surprised that dudes were cheating.
Nah, not at all. And it's like, you know, to the point where I'm numb to it. Like, if an opponent of mine pops hot, or like if I'm thinking I'm gonna have to fight a dude that I suspect is heavily juiced, like I don't even care anymore.
Yeah,
like,
but you don't care anymore, and I guess this is where I was going with it while I was asking Joe. No, but the two of you kind of like have to be like, well, fuck it, I'm gonna fight anyway. So you kind of have to have that mentality. But that's why I'm asking you as a coach, how do you feel? Because like for me, I understand the mind that Rob has and the mind that Alex would have, because you can't go, well, fuck, if you're gonna fight him, you're gonna fight him. But then when you stopped fighting and you understand that you've sustained this amount of damage at the hands of someone that had an unfair and illegal advantage over you, then you look at guys like Mark Hunt and you're like, oh, fuck yeah, like
100%.
be pissed off, sue the shit out of people. Because when you're young and you're bulletproof and you've got to fight this guy, you're going to fight him. Plus you have to make that money to feed your family. It's not like there's a choice. But as a coach, sometimes you're looking at it going, this is fucked.
And it's sort of known that there's camps, I don't know so much here, but in America, that there's some of these major camps, you know, that a lot of fighters go there because they can take stuff and they've got the good masking agents and nothing's going to show up, you know. That's why they are the big gyms, you know, and a lot of the fighters do go and train there, not so much for the coaching, because like I always say, man, a jab is the same at your gym as it is at my gym, and same as the arm bar is the same, you know. It's who you're training with, but a lot of these guys are going to these gyms because they get a little bit extra than just the instructionals, you know.
Dude, you can look up, you can just look it up as it's there, it's on records, and like there's, you know, I'm not going to put people out there, but like it's fucking a whole bunch of people from the same gym under the same management. And you can Google it, so it's not me that's saying it. But like, and it's all for the same kind of stuff. It was like, oh, this tainted supplement, it's all the same supplement. And dude, I remember like going to the gym when I was a kid, and it's never like some nerdy little like kid that gets the tainted supplements and gets yoked. It's always like these guys that are fighting that get the tainted supplements. Like, you know, it's never, it was like the nerdy kid that sat next to me and fucking rolled.
I used to be completely oblivious to it. I had like no idea, because I remember even before I was doing MMA and back in when I was playing football and stuff like that, and like people would throw out like, oh, he's juicing, rah, rah, rah. And I used to be like, oh, you and your conspiracy theories. And I was thinking, as if these guys, you know, I didn't think like I said, I was completely oblivious to it. Where now I'm like full going fucking Nate Diaz on and going, they're all on steroids. You know, it's that sort of, like I can't believe it. Like I used to literally have no idea what it was like until you started seeing, like obviously I was paying it, you look at it now, it's almost bloody every few weeks someone's bloody getting popped.
And they're the guys that are popping.
And it's not their fault too. Like, let's just put that out there. It's never their fault.
It's never exactly their fault. But what? Can someone tell me how people actually believe some of the shit that they hear? They go, oh yeah, no, but it was the foot cream, and I was like that, and I'm like,
the fuck are you taking foot cream for?
Yeah,
that powerful.
Yeah, like,
yeah, but it's just like,
what type of fucking foot cream is that? What's wrong with your foot? Like, if you need that level of shit to fix it,
like there's still like, even with the whole John Jones thing and all that, you know what I mean? You still see so many people going, oh yeah, but it's because of this, and they're just throwing these facts at.
They're not facts.
That John Jones fucking threw out there. So you know what I mean? So they're just repeating exactly what they said. I was like, come on, man, like, you know, have a bit of common sense in there. Like, it's just, you know, it's hard to talk about because it gets you frustrated, but at the same time, there was a thing
I read about it. One of the fighters, again, won't say his name, but he accidentally took EPO. And I was thinking, how do you fucking accidentally take EPO? Like, do you go to get fucking, I don't know, chocolate milk out of the fridge and then you just drink EPO or inject it. You just inject EPO. How the fuck do you accidentally take it?
What was it? Yeah, mate, there's a few of them out there, isn't it?
Well,
Was
to
it
me,
the
I've
pill,
always-
the Viagra pills and
Yeah.
stuff
Oh,
like
yeah,
that? They
yeah.
go.
Well, when you think that guys are cheating on, like on the local scene, they're taking gear. What's going to happen when they get to this international level? You know, and it's how good they mask it. You know, more than anything. You know, if they can't find the paper trail, it's really hidden. You know.
Like again, I don't like throwing people the name. You know, so with the Chad Mendes thing, so
Obviously, do it anyway.
yeah, so
Don't
obviously.
want to say any names.
Yeah. So I've already, I've already done that, and then after the fight, I've done that to get the fight. But at the same time, so I obviously said some of them things, and then people would be like, "Oh no, yeah," but that's where the foot cream come from. So it was a foot cream supposedly, and he didn't fight it. He because he said that he had a business to worry about. I'm not that worried about it. I don't need to he didn't want to fight
It was
it.
only 2 years anyway.
Yeah, exactly right. They bloody can do that. I'll make my money here, and then who cares? I can fight in a couple of years. Now you get a decent injury, that's the same case anyway. You know, you have
But
the
I
year
don't-
off, and then
they
you.
don't- they don't get tested when they're off either. So it's like you could just gear off your head and train. Imagine the super
so they
camp.
won't do it.
Imagine
So you're
the,
off the.
Yeah, no. Imagine the super camp you could have if you're juicing off your brain every day, eating whatever you want because there's no fights coming up for like 2 years. Like,
It's mate. It's just
Did
funny.
John
Like
Jones
some of
do
us,
that?
I'm like completely opposite. Like I honestly don't like. I won't even have protein powder because I'm worried. Like I don't
Yeah,
know.
you have
You
to
know
be.
what I mean? Like I'm actually getting into stuff now. Like in a company, like a nutrition company, and they're doing everything USADA approved. So at least I know what I'm gonna be sort of taking and that. But I literally don't. You know, you get them little protein balls and that at shops and that. I don't touch them. I'm that scared.
I'm getting so paranoid. It's the fact that like, if I walk into a restaurant and the cook looks at me and goes, "Rob, champ, how you doing, man?" I go, I'm thinking like, and then my meal comes up, I'm like, you little.
What does he
Like,
put
just
in?
squirt
Yeah,
a bit
I'm
of-
just like a little bit of squirt. I'm like,
It's marinade. Don't worry.
And
Straight in the
the
meat.
problem is, another thing is like, I would like to take supplements because the paranoia is kind of keeping me away from them. I would like to
Exactly
take
right,
supplements like the roster because I have a very strong supplement sponsor at the moment, and they've all been USADA approved, and I have to take it so carefully because like I don't know how these tainted supplements happen.
Yeah.
Like, why is my tub different to your tub? Like, how does that even work?
I know
And,
because it's not really tainted supplements for the other people. That's probably why.
Yeah, I think
You know, Bisping
But
was
it-
saying on his podcast, Bisping was saying that he goes, he never gave a fuck. Like he'd never really watched what he ate, and he like wasn't really thinking. And when he had to take supplements, he'd just grab it, scoop it in, and drink whatever. And he'd kind of read the label and didn't give a fuck. And he goes, and never once did he fucking.
That's what I mean. It's like tainted supplements. I don't think really is a thing.
Yeah.
I don't think it exists.
But I mean, we don't want to take that risk,
No,
so
no, no, but
we
you-
just
you-
don't touch it at all.
You know what the thing is? Like, it does exist because, like, of the way that things are. There's been studies done that it is true. But if you were to take like the small percentage of athletes in the world, there's probably 400 athletes or 500 athletes in the UFC signed to the UFC, right? 500 athletes in the world. There's probably, I don't know how many. Out of those people, so many people are finding the tainted supplements.
Yeah, like what are the
Not-
odds?
Not in other sports
Yeah.
as much. You know what I mean? Like,
It's like I'd understand if like the supplement company come up to you and goes, "Here you go, buddy. This one's for you." It's like, but yeah. So I just try to stay away from like. Surely you got to be questioning yourself if you take a supplement and it makes you feel like a god. Like if you're taking stuff before training. And then you get to training and you're ready to run 10Ks in like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
You're like, you got to question yourself. and be
Exactly
like,
right.
this stuff's pretty good. So like, I just take like your proteins and things that don't make me feel, like don't mask what I feel because that's not normal.
And if you were really hard done by getting done by these, say John Jones really was getting done by tainted supplements, you really think you're going to fucking touch a supplement ever again?
Yeah, that's what I
You reckon
mean.
you're going to take it another 3 times?
If you took a tainted supplement, right, and you got stripped of your belts, like, again, not anyone in particular, but I would sue the fuck out of that company.
Yeah, like
Oh,
you
mate.
could.
And I would be so traumatized. I would not be able to walk past a jar.
Mate,
Like,
I'll,
yeah,
I'll
and you
turn
could
vegan because I'll be too
you
scared to
could
see
s-
what's in meat or something.
you could
What do they
sue
inject?
the protein the supplement company, sue their pants off. If you're a high profile athlete like John Jones, who like in the case you could sue, like I've missed X amount of money because of your supplement that was USADA, that you have cleared with the USADA approved ticking. It's like, it's a payday. You're not going to have to fight again. Like, you're taking that company over at that point. You know what I mean? But and another thing, like, people aren't getting popped from a tainted protein. You know what I mean? Like no one goes, oh, my WPI is tainted.
Yeah.
It's always some rocket fuel shit they're
Yeah.
taking in a scoop that makes them feel like they can run a marathon like tomorrow, today, now, twice a day. Like, it's never, oh, my lean WPI, fresh cut. Like,
But I mean, some of them actually end up getting saying and stuff like saying, "Oh yeah, it was this."
No,
But
because
I want to know if they sit there and like, all right, this is what you're taking, and they got backup. So if you were to get done, these is in this, you
No,
know,
they-
whether they got backup plans for that.
No,
type.
they would definitely. You would definitely have. Like, there are supplements that are tainted.
Yeah, I
in
reckon.
each batch. In particular, when they make, say, for example, I don't know, this batch here. This is the first batch it's coming through. That batch, like, there's been studies done that those batches do have like illegal substances that are what give you the results.
Yep.
That you end up buying a second batch, and other people buy it. So if you know that supplement's going to be tainted, and you know people that are involved in the making of that, yeah, you can get your hands on the particular batch that has been tainted, and you put that away in your fridge or in your wardrobe.
Oh, I get you.
Yeah, and then you go,
Oh, whoops.
yeah, this has whatever in it, and then you go, you know, and
See,
then you
that's
go,
what I-
hey, here it is, man. Here
Oh,
it is.
well, this one, shit.
Fucking
how
hell.
come I don't see any stories of the dudes that are getting popped for tainted supplements, like any court cases after that? Like, how come I never hear so and so
Mate, I'll be fighting for
just
fucking
made
ever.
bank from this tainted supplement because it ruined his career?
Yeah,
Like,
because they're not, like that. That's the thing. Like, the fact that it's a tainted supplement would mean that it has stuff in it that shouldn't have it. They've breached. Man, how do you put, I don't know, whatever in something? Like, you go, I bought a tin of Milo, and would you believe it had I don't know.
GH in it.
Something.
It had GH. fucking
Like this,
in it.
I've been giving this Milo to my son for a few days, and he's twice the size.
Yeah.